Welcome to day 2 of the LA Auto Show recap. If you guys haven't seen day 1 already, I recommend clicking the link down below to go check it out. Alright, on to day 2 of the recap. Knocking out the biggest highlights of the auto show with the first day, we decided to focus on some of the smaller ones with day 2, starting with Ford. Their booth offered a lot of updates regarding their current lineup, but nothing too eye-catching except for the retro homage concept, the F100 Illuminator EV concept. Basically, Ford took the chassis of their 1978 F100 and shoved it onto the brand new 2022 Mustang Mach-E GT platform. With the classic looks of the F100 mixed with the modern technology of the Mustang Mach-E, this car caught a ton of attention at the auto show. Personally, I love the thought of being able to modernize any classic looking car, so I was definitely a fan of this concept. Moving on to Toyota. They brought a lot, and I think if they didn't have the biggest booth at the auto show, it was definitely one of the biggest. Things that were at their booth were the all-new 2022 Tundra, the new GR86, the Corolla Cross, the BZ4X, the Rhombus concept car, a whole segment dedicated to BEVs, and much more. So, to say the least, Toyota's booth was packed. There wasn't an overall highlight car at the booth for the show, but if I were to pick one that would be the most intriguing, it would be the Rhombus with its wonky form factor. Kia came with a new look compared to the one that I'm used to, since they did a rebranding of their company at the beginning of this year, with the new slogan being Movement That Inspires. So, feeling inspired, I decided to take a look at the lineup that they brought to the show. And to be honest, there were a couple of interesting cars at hand with what they brought. For me though, the highlight at their booth had to be the EV9 concept. Starting with the EV9, this car was meant to foreshadow the potential upcoming features for its actual production model. Inside, the car offers seating for at least 6 across 3 rows of seats. The concept car uses recycled materials such as reclaimed fishing nets and other discarded plastic to create a more sustainable interior. The concept car also sports a large panoramic roof and a 27-inch infotainment display. The EV6 and the redesigned Kia Sportage were also showcased at their booth, both looking quite intriguing in the flesh, especially with the Sportage continuing its trend of having a weird-looking front-end design. The EV6 also broke a record that was previously held by Tesla, which was shortest charge time needed across the US, and that was previously set at 12 hours, 48 minutes, 19 seconds by Tesla. But Kia was able to bring that record down to just 7 hours, 10 minutes, and 1 second of charging. Holy crap! And yeah, Kia's booth was one of the more subtle looking booths, but they displayed some impressive products to say the least. For Jeep, I wasn't really caught on anything for what they had there, except for the new flagship vehicle, the Grand Wagoneer. That car had a ton of utilities at hand within it, making that car a very, and I mean very practical family vehicle. The car has 3 rows of seating in total, thus allowing an occupancy of up to 8 people, including the driver. The fact that this car was Jeep's first definitive luxury vehicle, I am genuinely impressed with the attention to detail and the gadgets that this car provides. Even though I tend to shy away from larger cars like this, it definitely has me wanting to test one of these. The auto show this year also had a handful of EV startups, which included Indie, Edison Future, Canoo, Imperium Motors, Electromechanica, and Molin. These brands all brought something interesting to the table, but nothing really of substance to really go against those who have already been considered substantial EV companies. So for the brands that I've stated before in both the previous video and the current one, these were the main OEM highlights in my opinion. And you may be wondering, where were the German giants? Where were the other JDM manufacturers? Where were the other major car companies? Well, the answer is, a lot of car brands are starting to distance themselves from the auto shows due to them realizing from a marketing aspect, it's more beneficial for them to host private debuts and world premieres rather than bring their new cars to events like the LA Auto Show. The mindset there is due to an ever-changing media industry where car companies must adapt to new standards that rely on such factors that affect how the consumer live their everyday lives. Overall though, the LA Auto Show was a blast. And I really enjoyed seeing these cars up front and be able to learn about them in person, especially after having a 1-year hiatus of not being able to. So, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Ciao.